Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, here with Pat McAfee and with Booker T. And today on NXT, we're going to have the TWF World Tag Team Fighters here. Because we had Otis Drosnick and He-Man won the TWF World Tag Team winnings not too long ago this month, Gorilla Monsoon says. And we wonder who they're going to be wrestling and fighting here today on NXT. Well, I can tell you one thing right now, Pat McAfee says. At first, Gorilla Monsoon, it was going to be Otis Drosnick and Shrek, but we don't know where Shrek's at. So then He-Man, ended up taking instead of Shrek. And then Otis Drosnick and He-Man won the TWF World Tag Team winnings by beating Gangrel and Kevin Thorne. Well, Booker T said it looks like we're going to have a bind again, because it looks like no one knows where Otis Drosnick is at. And it looks like that no one knows where he's at now. So it looks like the TWF World Tag Team winnings, are going to have to be taken off another team. At least, that's what I believe, Booker T says. And how do you know that, Gorilla Monsoon says? Tell me. And how do you know that? How do you know that Otis Drosnick went missing? Gorilla Monsoon says. I mean, you're making it up. Look right there, Gorilla Monsoon said. See, there's Otis Drosnick now with He-Man. So, no, they're not going to be taking the TWF World Tag Team winnings off of Otis Drosnick and He-Man. Would you stop? Well, I was saying, if he goes missing and they can't seek him, they would have to take the TWF World Tag Team winnings off of him. Yeah, well, as you can see, he's right there in the ring. He didn't go missing, Gorilla Monsoon says. So I think you should stop. Yeah, Booker T's Booker T's seeking to come up with all the mean things, Pat McAfee says. He's been working on Johnny Violent, Bobby Heenan, Jerry Lawler, Johnny Polo, Teddy DiBiase, James Cornette, Paulie Dangerously, John Bradshaw Latefield, Corey Graves, Wade Barrett, Nigel McGuinness, and Taz. He's been working on all this shit and Elijah Burke and all this shit and the Aiden English, and all the things that they came up with. Pat McAfee said he's learning how to be a sliding shithead like all those other folks. Hey, Booker T said, I'm just learning my craft here. And I spent more time being a heel in GWF and WCW and WWF and WWE and TNA and WWE than being good. As, guess what? We're the TWF World Tag Team Fighters, Otis Drosnick says. And I just want to say, Shrek, wherever you're at, my friend, when we do seek you, I hope that you understand that He-Man was only filling in for you because I didn't know where you went. Well, He-Man says if we seek Shrek, I most likely know that Shrek will understand. And no one thought that we could win the TWF World Tag Team winnings from Gangrel and Kevin Thorne. No one thought that could happen. But no one believed in us. They thought, hell, we're a mixed team. There's no way this could work out. And guess what? It did, He-Man says. You got that right, Otis Drosnick said. It did work out. Oh no, it's Angelo Dawkins now coming in. And here comes Montez Ford. First off, we just want to say, hey, good work on becoming the stand up. We just want to say, hey, great work on becoming the TWF World Tag Team Fighters. You know, we're so happy for you. You know, Shrek and Otis Droznik. We're so happy that you got to win the TWF World Tag Team winnings. Only now, we think that we should have a match with you and then win the TWF World Tag Team winnings back. Well, I'm gamed if you're game, T-Man says. Yeah, I'm game, Otis Droznik said. Then Angelo Dawkins says, let's make this happen. Yeah, Montez Ford said, we're going to make this thing happen. Well, Gorilla Monsoon said it is true that Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford are former TWF Tag Team Fighters. That is true. And they did lose them. I believe they lost them to Otis Droznik and Shrek, Gorilla Monsoon said. Yeah, they did, Pat McAfee says. Alright. Sorry, can't stand up in this new ring. Alright. Here today, we're going to see Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins take on He-Man and Otis Droznik for the TWF World Tag Team winnings here today on NXT. So, let this match happen now. Well, Otis Droznik, you know, and Shrek now have to put those TWF Tag Team winnings on stake, Booker T says, and that can't be good for them. Would you stop, Gorilla Monsoon says, saying it won't, saying it won't be good for them if they gotta put those TWF World Tag Team winnings on stake. Stand up! Stand up! This match is for the TWF World Tag Team winnings. First, they are Otis Droznik. First, they are Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. And they are the TWF World Tag Team Fighters, Otis Droznik and He-Man. Well, we'll see who's gonna take it for their team. It looks like He-Man's gonna go first. Now it looks like Otis Droznik's gonna go first, Gorilla Monsoon said, for their team. And it looks like Angelo Dawkins is gonna go for his team. Ding, ding, ding. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Booker T said, two of the biggest men in the ring right now, and Angelo Dawkins just knocked down Otis Droznik. Sometimes being big doesn't always mean, being big doesn't always mean that at the end of the day you can, not get beat up by someone much bigger than yourself, Gorilla Monsoon says. And a weird suplex, Gorilla Monsoon says. I'm going to tell you something right now, Pat McAfee says. Otis Droznik, he's a good wrestler, alright? He's a good fighter. And some folks may have truly doubted him that he could win the TWF World Tag Team winnings. Well, I was one of those ones, Booker T said, that doubted him winning the TWF World Tag Team winnings. And now you got to eat all those words now, Gorilla Monsoon says. A hip toss. Body slam. A suplex. And Angelo Montez Ford is in a body now. I don't got to eat any of those words at all, Gorilla Monsoon. You don't tell me I don't got to eat any of my words. And a tag, and now we got Montez Ford in the ring now. And Montez Ford now is grabbing Otis Droznik and stopping Otis Droznik from bringing in He-Man. But he doesn't. And now He-Man is now in the ring now. And He-Man picks up Montez Ford and slams him down, Gorilla Monsoon says. He-Man is a two-time TWF Tag Team Fighter because he did win it the first time with Otis Droznick when Shrek went missing, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, we can only hope that we'll see Shrek, and when we do, I can only hope that Shrek will be understanding of He-Man teaming up with Otis Droznick. Pat McAfee says. And if he's not understanding of it, Booker T said, "Whoa!" If he's not understanding of it, Booker T said, then Otis Droznick has some telling to do. And Montez Ford just slammed down He-Man, the He-Man doll that came from Big Lots, Gorilla Monsoon says, when it was a thing. Yep. And now Montez Ford's going up to the top steeple now. He's willing to come down on He-Man. He does. I think this match is over, Gorilla Monsoon says. 1, 2 and a kick out. Well, only a 2. I think it's going to take more than that to beat them, Pat McAfee says, Gorilla. You could be true about that one, Gorilla Monsoon said. Anyway, he's going to do it again. You know? Yeah, do it again. Well, here comes, Booker T says, goodbye, good night, bye-bye, good night. No, that didn't work out. And He-Man picked up Montez Ford and slammed him. Now He-Man's getting ready, you know, to beat him. Oh, Shad and Angelo Dawkins just knocked down He-Man. And Otis Droznick coming after them, and Angelo Dawkins and Otis Droznick fighting it out there. Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, Pat McAfee says that's not going to work out at all, but I guess, no, that's not good, Pat McAfee says. Otis Droznick needs to help He-Man. He shouldn't be fighting Angelo Dawkins. Too late, Booker T says. The 1, 2, 3's happening. 1, 2, 3. What did I tell you, sucker? Booker T says. New TWF World Tag Team Fighter. You know, new TWF World Tag Team Fighters. I told you so. It happened, Booker T says. Would you stop? Gorilla Monsoon says. Here is your winners and the new TWF Tag Team Fighters, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Well, sadly, Gorilla Monsoon says, Shrek and Otis Droznick's goal to still be the TWF Tag Team Fighters, you know, going into 2026 YL, sadly did not happen, Gorilla Monsoon said. No, it did not, Pat McAfee says. Otis Droznick was fighting with Angelo Dawkins. That may have been a setup. You know, and while those two were fighting, Montez Ford ended up getting the upper hand on He-Man, Pat McAfee says. I'll tell you one thing right now, Gorilla and Pat. Otis Droznick and He-Man, well, I guess they're not a good tag team there is if they got out-wisted by Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. I think, Booker T said, and Otis Droznick and He-Man are a good tag team, and they didn't get out-wisted by Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, Booker T. Would you stop? Well, once again, Pat McAfee says, Booker T's always saying things. Saying before he thinks before he says. I don't think before I say. Yeah, you do, Pat McAfee says. You always say something, and you don't think it through before you say it. Well, that's kind of, Pat, you'd be right about that, Gorilla Monsoon said. There is some truth to that. Alright, take it away now, Tony Schiavone. thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be talking with the new TWF World Tag Team Fighters here today on NXT, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Stand up! Alright, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, you both are now the new TWF World Tag Team Fighters. Well, Tony, you know Tony Schiavone, you say it like it's a shock that you didn't think we were going to become the new two-time TWF Tag Team Fighters, but it happened. And we're not going to take anything away from Otis Strosnick and He-Man. They were a good tag team, and if they want to win these TWF tag team winnings back for, the free with time, well, we'll give them that match. What about you, Montez Ford? What's your take on this? Me and Angelo Dawkins here, we won the TWF World Tag Team winnings the first time. And we didn't think that we'd be winning them again. But luckily, we did win them again. And a lot of folks can say, whatever they want to say about it. But we still think Otis Strosnick and, He-Man are a good tag team. And if they want another match for the TWF tag team winnings, then by all means we'll give it to them. Yeah, we'll give that match to them again, Tony Schiavone, but at the end of the day, I do not believe that they'll be walking out as free-time TWF tag team fighters, because those straps will still be with us, and we're going into 2026 YL as the TWF tag team fighters. Well, that's my talk with Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford here today on NXT. And that's all the time we got here for NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Pat McAfee and Booker T. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite or Might.